Jocelyn here with my dog. I feel like you can't see him. He's out of frame, but he's being nuts. Okay, let's move. Jocelyn here, and I'm not looking at the camera because I'm still not used to filming this style, and I'm filming on my phone and using the front camera. Get on! Be fun, boy! No. Leave me alone! It's a very long-awaited video. I'm going to be talking about racism in China, what I face. I've been in China since November. I've been here 9 months and I've faced some pretty racist things. So first off, let me start by saying it's gonna be some clownery. I'm gonna do a couple of story times and there is some clownery in some of them. Y'all gonna be like, why is she putting up with that? Why is she dealing with that mess? And simply put, I don't know why I deal with it. I think for one, I'm non-confrontational, even though in the future it will be awkward, but like at least I'll be like calm and have a peace of mind about everything. I'll talk to y'all about racism in China. First off, let me just be straightforward and say there are some things that are like, but not very racist. Like, there are some microaggressions, which I do feel like microaggressions are rooted in racism, but not flat out racist like behavior. But I have had some flat out racist behavior happen to me. But some of the microaggressions that I face being black in China, of course in the workplace, every time I change my hair, someone has something to say about it. And in the workplace especially, it's like Chinese people and foreigners are both like just as ignorant. Oh, how long is your real hair? How long does it take to do your hair? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she changed her hair again. They'll say little things like that. Of course, Chinese people kind of want to touch my hair or take a picture with me or like touch me. There are definitely like microaggressions that I face, but there's also been some flat out racist stuff, y'all. This shouldn't be a long video because I haven't had many racist experiences. I've had like more than I've had since being here in this past week, which is why I wanted to make this video. But I've definitely had like some crazy racist experiences and some not so crazy racist experiences. I think the one that stands out the most is this one. Which I'm embarrassed to talk about because I was being an idiot. So there was this guy, I really liked him, and we were going strong for, not going strong, but like we were talking and dating and stuff like that for like a good month and a half. Things were going good, not so weird, just, you know, talking. So I guess the first sign was on our first date. We went and watched the movie, and the movie was Get Out, and he was so shocked. I guess he had never seen the movie before, but he was so shocked at the fact that it was an interracial couple, like especially a black guy and a white girl, and that really stuck with him. He was like, mind you, he's only dated white girls also, but he was like so stuck on the fact that it was a black guy, first of all a black lead, and second of all that he was black dating a white girl. And like, okay, it's China, he was a Chinese guy. I'm like, yeah, he's Chinese, like, it's okay. And And I was like, yeah, that's kind of the whole point of the movie. Like, you just have to watch and see, blah, blah, blah. But, like, he was really stuck on it. And I'm like, so finally I just asked him, I'm like, what, do you have a problem with, like, black guys? Do you have a problem with black people? Because, like, I mean, hello, that's a little weird. He was like, no, not necessarily, but, you know, it's just a lot of, like, cases in China of, like, foreigners abusing Chinese girls. And I had a friend who was in an abusive relationship, and he happened to be a black guy, so I just feel a little biased for, like, the nice version. And so, like, in my mind, again, stupid bitch pills. Will I write off an entire race just because, like, an entire race and gender just because they've done something, like, wrong personally to me? No, I wouldn't. If that's my first encounter with someone, then, like, I guess I could see. Like, I was being empathetic, but lo and behold, I was being an idiot. So, like, we keep talking, and he's doing, like, other stuff, but dumb bitch pills. And by this point, I'm, like, in too deep. I'm emotionally invested. And so I'm looking over, like, all of his problems. You can't even call them flaws. He said things like, oh, I think African girls are, like, stinky because they don't shower. Oh yeah, I don't want to go out in public with you because of your hairstyle. Like, maybe if you change your hair, hate your hair, it's so itchy. Even though I had told him several times, like, don't say blacks, like, refer to black people as black people or black person. Like, he would still go out of his way to, like, say blacks. He never said anything like the N-word, but he just really, like, was racist and never marry you, like, because my mom, she would never, I could never do that to my mom. I could never bring home black, blah, 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 just really out the way stuff. And not only that, but he, like, when it came to talking to white girls, because like I said, his previous partner, a couple of his partners were white girls, and so he would always refer to them as, like, princess and beautiful and blah blah blah. Even though, y'all, I ain't gonna body shame, I ain't gonna face shame, but they was ugly. And he was just like, no, she's beautiful, she's tall with pale skin and blue eyes and blah. So he was really, like, for the Snow Bunny Light Bright team. He was just really, really, like, racist. And he would be like, oh, I'm not racist, blah, 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 I'm not racist. And it's like, you are. Like, black girls, you don't like black people, you don't like Africans, you always have something horrible to say about black people. Like, just because you are, like, dating a black girl doesn't mean that, like, you aren't racist. I'm also being an idiot because I'm tolerating it and, like, trying to educate him and, like, change his mind and, like, all of that. But finally, I just had to say, fuck it, cut that loose. Best decision of my life. Cause yeah, he was crazy. And so that was, like, the most racist experience that I've had in China. Like, this Chinese man flat out telling me I was ugly and stinky and my hair was ugly and blah blah blah. Well, he never called me ugly, but he said black people were ugly. So embarrassing because, like, I never put him in his place. And even if I did put him in his place, I shouldn't have kept, like, talking to him and, like, being involved with him. So idiocy on my part. More racist experiences that I've had in China. Yeah. Don't bark at me. The more racist experience that I've had in China. So I have a white coworker from South Africa. I hate to throw my queen under the bus because, like, racist people are weird because they really do feel like I'm a nice person, so I can't be racist. But it's like, no, the fact that you're a racist cancels out any nice things that you've done. And I have to remember that, because like, she is a nice person, but she's also racist. And being white from Africa kind of racist, which is weird because I have a white friend. She'll say I'm mixed, she'll debate me. But like, you're already inherently racist because your ancestors are racist, and I'm pretty sure that the people who have raised you are living a happy, comfy life at the expense of Africans. And so like, inherently you've grown up racist because your family has benefited from racism, and they probably don't see a problem with like their privilege and the things that they've gotten away with at the expense of African and black folks in Africa. I digress. This white girl from South Africa, like, she would say, she's not here anymore, she got stuck outside of the country due to COVID-19, but she would say like oddly racist things to me, and like at the time they didn't seem so racist, but it's like now looking back, that was pretty racist. So when I first got here, I had long green box braids, and then all of this stuff started happening around the same time. We were getting ready to leave for Spring Festival, which was like the beginning, like right when COVID-19 hit, was like at the end of Spring Festival, just to give you a timeline. So it was a 1-week festival. So it was like the beginning of Spring Festival. I had taken down my braids, and I had like a braid out look. Like if I had taken down these braids, you know, like a really crinkly look. So braid out, we were getting ready for Spring Festival to leave. So it was like the last little bit, and then we had a rat. We had a very, very crazy like rat problem in the office. And I remember one day I came into work, I think it was right after my braid out, I came into work and I had my braid out and I had my hair in like 2 like ponytails, and it was crinkly and a little crazy and wild. And the rat was in a cage. We had just caught yet another rat from our rat infestation. And so the white girl from South Africa goes, "Oh, look at Jocelyn's hair. Doesn't it look like the rat crawled out of Jocelyn's hair?" And so everybody was just like, no, like that's kind of a not nice thing to say. Like, what's wrong with Jocelyn's hair? And then again, me being like, I think when you face stuff like this, you're just so taken aback when it happens. You're just like, again, you have to ask yourself, wait, like, what? Like, is that racist? Like, is that problematic? Like, what's wrong with a black girl having her afro? What's wrong with a black girl having her crinkly hair? What's wrong with a black girl having her coily hair? And I think I remember somebody, like, calling her out, because it was like a running joke all throughout the day. And again, I was annoyed, but I didn't feel it like it felt racist, but it didn't. I don't know. I'm the only black person in the office as of now. I used to have a black African coworker, but he's also stuck outside of the country. He's from South Africa too. So I'm the only black person in the office. I don't even know if he was there yet, but I remember someone calling her out and being like, there's literally nothing wrong with Jocelyn's hair. Like, what are you trying to say? And she immediately, no, I'm not trying to say anything. Like, usually I like her hair. I like her hair in the braids, and I like her hair in her afro, and blah, 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 blah. But today, it just looks like a rat's nest. Today, it just looks unkept. It just looks untidy. And, like, just digging the hole deeper. And I'm just like, again, it's a very awkward situation. And I feel like in my place of work, at the time, it was so many of us in a confined space for 8 hours a day. Being the only black person there, and being a black person in China, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. So it's just like, okay, do I really have the basis to like complain or be angry? I knew this was gonna happen, but it's also like, damn, like, are you just really going to suck? Like, come on now. So yeah, that happened, and like I said, that's what I remember. But I'm pretty sure there were like, similar things along the line. And I know that she had said some things to other people, but like for me directly, that's what I remember. For me directly, that's what I remember the most. The last 2 racist experiences, thankfully it's only been a few, thankfully, but the last 2 racist experiences that I've had happened literally this week. I was teaching my oldest group of students. I think the age range is from 11 to 15, and we got on the dreaded subject of appearances. What does she look like? Beautiful, ugly, hair types, skin colors, fat, skinny, tall, short. Like, appearances, especially with that age group, is horrible because they're mean, they're rude, and I was really dreading it. And so I was teaching beautifuler or uglier or more beautiful or more ugly. I was teaching that, and this little boy goes, "Teacher is ugly." Now, the kids always say stuff like that. Oh, teacher is ugly, teacher is fat, teacher is blah, blah, blah. Like, kids always say that. The little kids, the big kids, they always say like stuff to be funny. Oh, teacher is skinny, teacher is fat, teacher is stinky, teacher is beautiful. Like, they always say that. One little boy, he always calls me ugly, but like, he calls everyone ugly. And so I'll just be like, "You're ugly," and he'll be like, "No, teacher is ugly," and I'm like, "No, you ugly and your mama ugly too." And so, but like, he always says that. But this is a different boy, different class, different age group, and we were talking about ugly and beautiful, and he was like, "Teacher is ugly." And so I handled it the same way I handle my younger students, and I'm like, "No, you're ugly," and he was like, "No, teacher is ugly," and I'm like, "No, you're ugly." I'm like, "Okay, I'm ugly, but you're ugly too." And he was like, "Well, no, teacher is ugly because she's black." Okay, and you're Chinese and ugly, so and like, okay, I'm black and ugly, you Chinese and ugly. Next caller, like, next question, okay. And the whole class just like kind of shut up and just kind of like looked like, oh, did she really just call Chinese people ugly? I mean, no, but like, do you see how A and B like don't make F? Like, being black has nothing to do with being ugly, just like being Chinese has nothing to do with ugly. But like, you're ugly and you just so happen to be Chinese, so you're ugly. And after that, he didn't say anything. Like, class was actually over. Like, it happened at the end of class, which was so awkward. And I told my coworker, my co-teacher, and my friend, the white girl from earlier, not the white South African girl, but like the white girl with a Nigerian dad who would be mad if I call her white. Man, she might not be mad, but okay, so that happened, and it happened at the end of class, and everyone that I told was just kind of, they just kind of like shrugged it off. It was just kind of like, I mean, damn, that sucks. And it's like, okay, really, what else can you do? Like I said earlier, you're black in China. Everyone knows how black people are treated. Everybody knows, like, you're gonna get stared at, you're gonna get like poked fun at, blah blah blah. And even though it's a sad reality, that was what I put on my application when I applied for this job. Like, I want to expose kids to black people. I want to tell people what's right and wrong. I want people to know, hey, the things that you're saying aren't okay. Like, I personally, why do you have to be next to me? Hunter him. I personally may not say something to you or like be rude to you or punch you in the face or anything. I would be way nicer about it other black people want. And that was my whole thing in my interview. Oh, I want to like be these people's exposure to like the first black person for some of them. I want to like spread the gospel, the Negro spiritual gospel. Like I want to show people that black people are lit, and that like every stereotype that you have about a black person could be true and it could be false, but regardless, that shouldn't be the deciding factor of whether or not you treat them with respect, because black people are still people at the end of the day. It shouldn't be that deep. A person is a person. So just kind of complaint to my coworker. So I can't really say like if I said like what would have happened if I would have gotten in touch with administration. Maybe he would have gotten punished, maybe he would have not, but yeah. And then the last thing, the most racist thing, not the most racist, but last of like the racist things that I've experienced in China happened today. This coworker, another South African guy, and he's Indian and South African, and he's made it very clear that he has like Indian South African pride. Like he doesn't rep Afrikaans. Like he made it very clear that he's not a colored person, that he's not black, and none of that. Indian douchebag and an asshole, and no one in the office really cares for him. But also no one in the office, like, they just kind of ignore him. They just kind of don't care. Like they just kind of let him say whatever, do whatever. Me, like some people like entertain him and just ignore his nonsense. Me, I'm very no nonsense. I was very short with him when I first met him because I knew I wasn't gonna like him, and so he doesn't really talk to me ever. So that's that. But today we were having a bit of a bitch fest, and he came up as one of the like topics that we were complaining about. And one of my coworkers was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know if I should tell you what so and so said or not." And I was like, "I mean, you can." And he was like, "I don't know if you'll get offended or not." And so, of course, when he said offended, I knew it had something to do with being black. And so, like, my first thought was like he made like a black joke or he said something stupid. But I didn't know that it was gonna like be like so personal to me. So like we have like an employee wall in my school with everybody's like picture. My picture looks bomb. I can insert a clip. Maybe I'll insert a picture. But my picture looks good. And me personally, I think my picture looks the best out of everyone. But whatever. I'm just like so sidetracked. I'm just like so good at ID photos. I'm very like I'm very good at taking those types of photos, so I think it looks good. But anyway, they're up, and I guess he has recently went up. My coworker didn't say when he said this, if he said it today or if he said it like earlier on or what. But basically the guy was like, "Yeah, my photo looks so bad, the lighting is so off, I look as dark as Jocelyn." Now y'all, this is an Indian guy, and this isn't the most bright-skinned Indian guy in the world. Now, we recently got another teacher from South Africa, and he is African, and so he's also dark-skinned or darker skinned for some people who are weird like that. He's also dark-skinned, and they're friends. And so like the fact that you don't use him as an example, but like you use me as an example as like the epitome of darkness, it's like issue number one. There's not an issue with being dark skinned. I don't care that I'm dark skinned. Like I like being dark skinned. I really do like having a nice dark even skin tone and complexion. I appreciate it. But like, first of all, the context like, oh, my picture came out bad, the lighting is bad, I almost look as dark as blah blah blah. Like, you could have said, oh, I look dark and left it as that. But the fact that, one, you felt the need to add names, and two, you felt the need to add my name, it's just like, and three, I don't like you. It's just like, jump off of a bridge and do a flip. Like, go kill yourself. On the record, like, eat a dick. Cause he's so, again, I am being biased because I don't like him, but it's just like, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, my biggest pet peeve, not my biggest, but like my top 5 pet peeves is, they'll be like, oh, so-and-so said this about you, but don't tell them that I told you. No, like, if you didn't say anything to them, if you didn't nip them in the bud, if you didn't tell them, oh, like, that's not cool, shut the fuck up, don't say that about her, which I know you didn't do, because if you did that, you wouldn't feel the need to tell me, because obviously if you tell me, you want me to say something about it. But I hate when people are like, oh, so-and-so said this about you, but don't tell her I told you. I hate that. Like, I said top 5, but that might be my top 3 pet peeves, because I actually have a number 1 pet peeve. So it may be top 2 because I can't think of a third one right now. But that shit makes me so mad. And that's kind of the vibe that he was giving off. And I think he could tell that, like, I'm in a confrontational mood. Because like I said earlier, like, I want to leave, I want to move. And so I've really been on edge with work lately. And I think he could tell that, like, oh shit, like, she's annoyed, she's gonna say something. So like, he quickly started, oh, but he said this about me too, but he said this, and he said he's an idiot, he's dumb, and I'm like, yeah, all that is cool, fine and dandy, but I gotta say something. I have to say something to him, because A, I don't like him, B, I don't like this job, I want to go home, I'm on edge, like, I have to say something. So I sent him, all this happened tonight, by the way, this is what prompted this video. So I sent him a message, and I was like, hey, I don't want to start anything, but someone brought it to my attention that you made a joke about your photo, and you referenced me at, like, you said, oh, I'm almost as dark as Jocelyn, like, keep my name out your mouth. I don't care about being dark skinned, I know I'm a black person, like, I enjoy my black skin. It has nothing to do with that, and everything to do with, like, you being tacky and distasteful. Like, it's a place of work, let's keep it professional. I sent that message maybe 2 hours ago now, and as of me getting home filming this video, of course I haven't checked my messages because I'm filming this video on my phone, but like, since then he has not responded. If he's a little bitch boy and he never responds, who knows if he's gonna give me like a verbal in-person apology tomorrow, who knows. I don't want his apology. I'm the type of person, I don't care about apologies, I care about change behavior. So like, I don't care if you say sorry or like if you apologize, because it's already happened, so I don't need an apology. I just need you to not do it again, or else I won't be as nice as sending like a text message. Like, then I'm gonna have to get a little ignorant in China. For all of y'all that have been wondering, those are like the top racist experiences that I've experienced in China. Of course, I've had people like picking at my hair and like making microaggressional. I've had people make comments about my hair, like, and that's pretty much the extent of it, aside from like the flat out racist stuff. But hey y'all, it's Jocelyn here, and I'm out walking Pingguo, but it's one quick thing that I had to note that I didn't think about at the time. I have been experiencing some racism and prejudice since COVID-19. Here, foreigners have been experiencing prejudice because we have to sign in, we have to show our green code, get our temperature taken, wear our mask. Like, they're way more harsh on foreigners with these rules than they are with regular Chinese people. But of course, being black, person, I was gonna say black girl, being a black person, but it doesn't matter if you're a boy, girl, whoever. Um, anyway, of course, being a black person, like they are way harder on you. Like if to put an analogy, is me, my Chinese friend, and my white friend all go out, the Chinese person can enter in the building, no problem. No need to show a code, no need for temperature, no need to sign in. If my white friend goes in, she'll just probably have to show a code and sign in. If I go in, then I have to show my code, sign in, get my temperature taken, and have on a mask. So they definitely are way harder on foreigners, but of course, where there is prejudice against foreigners, you can almost always guarantee that obviously black foreigners are going to get it the worst. There's never any type of like equal prejudice. Like it's equal in that like all foreigners are getting treated worse than Chinese people, but it's unequal in that, of course, black people are getting treated worse than say white people or other like brown people, fair skinned people, or like Muslims or minorities or something like that. Like dark skinned black people obviously are gonna get treated the worst. So yeah, I just wanted to insert that little snippet. I wouldn't classify that as, I guess you would say it's racist, but like by definition I do think that is racist. But I don't look at it as outright racism so much as I look at it as like prejudice. But again, the definition of racism is like using prejudice against people like to oppress them, and like not to say that I feel oppressed when I have to wear a mask to go into the grocery store, but it very much is like a person in power, like putting someone at a disadvantage because of their skin color. So I don't know. Some people may tell you that it's racist. Some people may not say it's racist. But anyway, I just wanted to beam that little snippet in there because I do think that it's relevant on talking about the topic of racism in China. Okay, back to the video. Those are like the racist things that I've experienced in China. And as you can see, I think the white South African coworker was like the oldest thing that's happened, and so it's kind of went from like just laughing it off and brushing it off to like politely trying to like explain to a person, to like dishing what people give me, like dishing it back at them, to finally just like being stern with a person and being like, look, don't talk shit about me, don't talk shit about black people, like next time you do it we're gonna have a problem. So as you can see, over the 9 months my response has progressed, and I'm glad that I'm getting a lot more open and vocal about calling people out, because again, even though it's something that is to be expected with being black and abroad, being a black woman abroad, it's like you still, and like I'm no one's ambassador, I'm not Captain Save a Black Person, Captain Save a Negro, that ain't me. But I do feel like there is some sort of obligation as an African American woman in a foreign country coming into contact with all of these people who are not black and from America. I do feel like I do have some sort of obligation to set the record straight. And even if I don't go out like advocating, like when the problem does come to me, I do feel like it's my place to put people to correct them. If the guy ever like responds, if he ever apologizes when I upload this video, I'll pin it in the comments. If you guys have any more like questions or suggestions for YouTube videos, let me know.